Oh, okay. So, full disclosure, I was actually going to make a completely different video than this one. It was going to be speculating about the future of Star Wars, going into like the Boba Fett movie, on the Obi-Wan movie, and everything. And then there was an article one day ago by Collider.com that basically said everything about that is up in the air right now, just completely on hold, and nobody really knows anything. So I can't really speculate about what I was going to speculate about now. So while I was rewriting my episode, about to start re-editing that episode where I was going to talk about all of that, I actually saw a tweet where director Rian Johnson was responding to a Twitter account called Remake The Last Jedi. And, this isn't the first time I've heard about, the concept of people wanting to remake The Last Jedi. Obviously, I was aware that there were some parties that wanted to remake The Last Jedi, just scrub the original version from canon. But I hadn't really seen an organized effort before today. So basically, Rian Johnson quote tweeted this account, Remake The Last Jedi, and if you kind of follow them to their webpage, you see that essentially their entire effort is they want to raise $200 million, which is as much as The Last Jedi cost to produce, by Disney, a super wealthy corporation. It cost them $200 million to produce. These guys want to essentially raise another $200 million to make it again? So my first question is, so are you going to be writing the script yourself? And according to them, they're going to be assembling a team of their own producers and writers and creative types that are all going to kind of collectively pool their knowledge and write a new Star Wars script, which sounds like a fun fan project. The only problem is that they're trying to raise $200 million to do it. So if you're anything like me, your initial first thought is, oh my god, they actually think they're going to raise $200 million for this fan project. That's hilarious. And it is hilarious, you're right. But according to their website, I actually need to look at my notes for this one. According to their website, they've currently raised $41,230,180 as of today, the 21st of June at around 4 p.m., which is, dare I say, unbelievable. So they've raised, according to them, $41 million. It's also worth noting that when I looked at their website earlier today, when I was going to start writing this episode, they had only raised $35 million or $37 million. It was around that area. It was like the mid to high 30s. All of which implies that they've earned between $4 and $5 million in the last few hours of this afternoon. So at this point in time, you're probably thinking, okay, well, they're doing this through Kickstarter, they're doing this through Indiegogo, good for them because there are regulations set up for those websites, right? So at least we know it's valid. No, it's just their own personal website where you go in and you fill out what looks to be a Google form to pledge your financial donation. And it looks like they're giving backers the option to donate anywhere from $10 to $10,000 with varying degrees of kind of worthless things that you get in return. I think one of them gives you a Force FX lightsaber, which is neat, but you have to pledge like $500 to do that, and at that point, why not just spend $300 and get your own Force FX lightsaber? I did the math, and how much money they said they've earned, $41+ million. Now, I didn't even go through assuming, what if every single one of their backers pitched $10? How many backers would need to do that? Because that's just going to be an unimaginable amount of people. So I thought, there's not even a point in doing that, because that's also assuming that everyone's pitched the absolute minimum amount. So I went with a solid average. I thought, okay, if people actually have donated to this, the average donation is probably around 50. There are probably people who have donated more, donated less, but the people who've donated like $100, $200, $1,000 are the outliers, almost certainly. If every donor pledged $50, it would still take 823,000 plus people to hit the amount that they've said that they've hit, right? Which is insane. Like, there's no way. There are much better causes out there that would move heaven and earth to try to get these kinds of donations in the span of time that RemakeTheLastJedi.com has apparently gotten these donations during. So then, you know what, I thought I set the estimation of $50 way too low, right? Like, clearly 824,000 people definitely didn't do this. It's definitely possible that a much smaller group of people all just completely shelled out their cash, right? So I thought, okay, well, obviously not every person that donated $10,000. What if everybody who had donated $10,000? And I thought, oh, this number is going to be much smaller, and it kind of was. If everybody donated $10,000, it would have only taken 4,000 individual donors to meet their current goal. 4,000 people donating $10,000 in a very brief span of time. So regardless, let's just go out on a limb and say, okay, yeah, you've raised $41 million. That's a thing that you've definitely done. People are apparently that pissed off at The Last Jedi. Sure. I don't think so, but sure. Let's just remind ourselves of the entire premise of this project, right? He's going to not only crowdsource the funds for this movie, but he's also going to crowdsource the idea for this movie. Nowhere on his website does he say what he wants to do with The Last Jedi. Any ideas for direction, any ideas for story, any ideas for what they're going to change from the original movie. All he says is that he's going to assemble a dream team of undetermined or unnamed people who are going to essentially write the movie for him. They're going to take the $200 million. They're going to take this crowdsourced idea and $200 million to Disney and use the $200 million to essentially leverage the rights for the film out from under Disney to remake a film that was already super profitable for Disney. So if you kind of followed that logic there, you can kind of put together that there's not a whole lot of logic there. So, of course, what you're saying now is, okay, let's assume that they actually have, generated what is probably, at the time of recording this, like $43 million, because it seems to be growing by millions every minute. Let's assume that they've generated over $40 million in actual cash. Now, they go to Disney, right? And Disney says, what, are you crazy? No, of course we're not going to do that. I mean, congratulations on earning $200 million. Maybe put that towards cancer research or, something worthwhile. So they're not able to make the movie. So what does the website say they'll do? If they can't make the movie, they're going to refund the money to everybody. Great, right? I mean, that's exactly what you would expect them to do. The only problem is nowhere on their Twitter, nowhere on their website, and as far as I can tell when I briefly researched this, you can't find the name of the person who is starting this project or currently running this project or anybody associated with them anywhere. Which means this person could theoretically have $200 million of thousands of people's money, thousands being a light estimate, and then when Disney inevitably doesn't let them remake The Last Jedi, because they're not going to do that ever, there's nobody to be held accountable to. Are we really expecting this anonymous person to just say, oh yeah, okay, I have 200 million of your dollars. Here you go, here's it back. I know you don't know who I am, but here you go, here's it back. There's virtually no accountability for whoever's running this project. This is actually pretty serious. In no reality do I think that they've raised $41 million. I'll be completely honest, I'm not even going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that's possible. So, currently, he's probably actually bringing in actual donations, because inevitably somebody's going to go on their website, they're going to see that amount of money, and they're going to think, oh my god, the movement I've been waiting for, finally, everybody who hated The Last Jedi is finally putting their money where their mouth is, right? And they're going to donate their money. And they're not going to know that the amount of money that's being advertised there is probably completely false. So that's really why I wanted to make this video. It isn't because I'm seeing a passionate team who wants to do something for their Star Wars community and they weren't happy with The Last Jedi. That's fine. You can not like The Last Jedi, you can make fan films. I'm not saying you can't do any of that. But at the end of the day, what this person is doing, I'm not going to throw around this accusation lightly, and I don't want to accuse anybody in the first place, but with the evidence that I've seen presented to me, it looks like this could be possibly fraudulent. When I say fraudulent, I mean if somebody donates to this project, but they donated because of how many other people donated to this project. They see $41 million, of course, yeah, I'll throw my $10 in. What's gonna, it can only help, right? Or somebody sees that and they say, oh, $41 million, oh my god, I need to help. $100, right? They're doing that under the false pretense of donating to a cause that already has a massive backing. If you saw that campaign and it had, I don't know, let's even be generous. Let's say it had $12,000 pledged out of 200 million. Do you think anybody is going to come by and say, $12,000 of 200 million? Sure, I'll throw $250 at it. No, because they think they're not going to see that money again. Because even though they say they're going to be refunded, who knows? and that campaign's never going to reach its goal. So I'm not accusing the creators of this website of fraud, but I am telling them that they should be very careful with how they distribute the information related to them, because right now it seems like it could be potentially very fraudulent. I know I'm not a big channel, and in fact this is my first video ever. It was going to be my second video, but then the whole Collider thing happened that I mentioned earlier. But I really do encourage RemakeTheLastJedi.com to contact me, or just on their own social media, on their Twitter, on their website, to just be a little bit more transparent. To obviously not disclose the names of their backers, that would be ridiculous, but to at least say how many people have backed, because right now the number seems ridiculous. In fact, I reached out to them on Twitter earlier today and they haven't gotten back to me yet. I asked them specifically how many backers have pledged, just to try and qualify the number that I was seeing, because at the time it seemed ridiculous, and it still does. Anyways, that's my piece. I just wanted to make a quick video talking about this issue. I don't think a lot of people are going to fall for this scam. There's always one person that might, that just hasn't really known about all the drama that's been going on, that maybe was really unhappy with The Last Jedi, and they see this as an opportunity to maybe actually make something happen. But it's really important for people to know that at least until this website comes out, or the creators comes out and say, hey, we're here, we're accountable, yes, this money is real, you're throwing your money away, and I don't think you're gonna get it back. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. I try to keep this short. First video ever, kind of as I briefly mentioned earlier. My name is Liam. I don't think I introduced myself earlier. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was like 5 years old. This YouTube channel, I'm gonna be talking about issues relating to Star Wars, issues relating to movies in general, maybe some stuff about video games, but I'm planning on releasing regular content, probably about a video or two every couple of weeks. So if you like today's video, if you kind of want to see where that goes, feel free to drop a like, drop a subscribe, turn on notifications. I really appreciate the help. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making more videos soon. Thanks guys. Bye.